I have so many things, books, and I'm especially promoter of reading, so I have to bring many things to show you, you know. Okay. I am coming from Slovenia. Slovenia and Slovakia are very similar. Slovakia is bigger than Slovenia, of course, it gets much more population. But I don't know if you know that after the independence of Slovenia was often replaced by mistake as Slovakia. And first of all, I want to congratulate Timoteja and her team to put the Slovak section of EB, Slovak EB Institute, and all together in Ljubljana. I know how it is hard to do all these things because I am leading the Slovene section of EB. If I say Slovene section of EB in Slovene language, it is similar to Slovak section of EB, Slovenska sekcija of EB. And I want to tell you that we are the sponsor of the 2nd April of the next year. And the poster the message is written by Peter Svetina with the title Hunger for Words. And the poster is illustrated by Damjan Stepančić. And just today, the poster is coming from printing. So when you are getting the poster, you will know that it is from Slovenia. So the 2nd of April the next year. I'm here after the month of reading together. It's reading campaign, and I am bringing you some posters and some postcards to share with you. I put them on the table, you can take it. Reading Together is a month from the 8th of September, which is the International Day of Literacy, and up to 13th of October, because the first or second week of October is the week of child in Slovenia. And of course, we want to promote reading and to put children and parents together with books. Reading Together is a campaign which is meeting the aims of intergenerational reading. We talk about intergenerational reading when the people of different generations read not at home. Of course, family reading is too intergenerational, but we say when, for instance, elder people read children in kindergartens or first classes of prime schools, or, for instance, when small children read elder people in homes. This is intergenerational. And today I am going to show you some pictures used in the intergenerational project, which is organized by Reading Batch of Slovenia. This project wants to put together young readers, for instance, 12, 13, 14 years, also from secondary schools, and grown-up people, their teachers, professors, parents, and also readers from the towns, to put them together, reading the same books. These are books for overcross novels, poetry, but also picture books. I'm going to show you 4 picture books. 2 pictures, the first 2, are dedicated especially to children. And the second 2 are canonical texts. They were written for grown-up people, but they, from time to time, they become canonical. They are in curriculum in schools, and they are illustrated now. And these two pictures were read in these intergenerational groups. But today is the 2nd of October. It is the day of the Slovene original picture books. Can you imagine? I'm talking you with the Slovene picture books on the day of the picture books. And this afternoon, the award of Kristina Brenkova, this is the special award for original Slovene books, is presented this afternoon. I can show you the finalists of this award, so you can enjoy the pictures from Slovenia. So the first book I'm showing you is Leopold Suhadolčan, Sedem nagaivih, 7 naughties. It's not important if there are 7 boys naughty, who are naughty, or there are 7 stories about the same naughty boy. The important is that this is written by Leopold Suhadolčan. Leopold Suhadolčan was one of the founders of the Reading Badge. Reading Badge is the Slovene reading movement that was established in the school year of 60-61, and it is still a vivid movement. You see, the text and the picture are classical. The stories are told in a way that not really need a picture, but of course, picture enriches, illustration enriches the text. But in these intergenerational groups, elder, grown-up people need picture to explain the children of today how the childhood was years and years ago. Boys were not only boys, children were climbing up the trees. They were tumbling down in the grass. And for instance, the grown-up people were dressed up like that because the children of today don't know the childhood without internet, mobile phones. They live without playing in the gardens, in the woods, in the playgrounds, you know. So it is interesting that grown-up people need pictures to explain their childhood to the children of today. The second picture book is written by Peter Svetina. The title is Kako je gospod Felix tekmoval s kolesom, how Mr. Felix took part in a bicycle race. Peter Svetina is one of our candidates for the Andersen Award of next year. He's also the writer of the message, Hunger for the World. You see, Mr. Felix is a professor. And he was talking and talking, and these 2 young boys tell him that there is a bicycling race in their town. And the professor took a bicycle, an old one, and is going to compete. And he's very successful, but before the finale, just before the finishing the race, he stops racing. He gets off the bicycle, he puts the bicycle in the grass, and he jumps into the pond and he enjoys swimming. And all the spectators are nervous. and astonished. What's going on? He was the first, and now he's swimming in the pond. You see, the grown-up people understand the point of this story because it wants to show and to tell us that this harrowing and this time of when we have no time for our real needs, these competitions, is it really necessary? But children of today do not understand this point. But children understand the pictures, and they explain the details of the pictures to grown up. So in this occasion, with this picture book, children, young readers, need the illustration to explain all grown-up people that yes, competing is necessary, and it's very funny that professor didn't finish the race. The third picture is Sochi by Simon Gregorčić. This to the Sochi, it's the classical poem of Simon Gregorčić. Simon Gregorčić was very popular in the second part of 20th century. He was Catholic priest, and he wrote different poems. He was so popular that he was called a nightingale of Isonzio. Isonzio, Sochi, is the Italian word for Socha. Socha is the river, the western part of Slovenia. It's partly frontier between Slovenia and Italy. And it is so beautiful. It was beautiful also in the time of Simon Gregorčić, and readers of his poem understood that that is a homage to the river, to the beauty of river. And Gregorčić wrote also about the battles that happened on the river 40 years after. It is an expression of patriotism. And grown-up people, especially elder people of today's, know the poem by heart still now, and they don't need pictures to understand the poem. The poem was also popular during the Second War, and it was used as encouragement for partisans that they battled towards the German soldiers. And so, as I said, grown-up people don't need pictures of Sochi. They understand the poem. But, you know, this piece of history is far from nowadays children, young people. But they understand the pictures. They understand this red and black and gray, which colors which express the battle, the suffer. And they, of course, understand the beauty of the river through picture. This picture book is translated also in English. And all afterward, the explanation of the poem and the explanation of illustration is also translated in English, because this was published last year, the year of the European Year of Cultural Heritage. So this book we consider as a piece of literature heritage, not only history heritage. The fourth picture book is Skodelica kave, a cup of coffee. It is also a well-known text, popular also by grown-up people, because it is in a piece of curriculum, so everybody knows the text from school. It is not very easy to understand with nowadays young people, because the story is about a writer who came home. They are poor, but he wanted to drink a cup of coffee. And his mother, she did anything to obtain a cup of coffee for his son. But when she brought a cup of coffee to him, he was, I don't know, writing his text, and he said, "No, mother, not now." And then mother, of course, was very sad, and the son found out immediately what he did, but it was too late. And the story is about this, that the whole his life, he was suffering because of this action when he denied a cup of coffee that mother obtained with many difficulties for him. Of course, grown-up people understand the story, and they know also this suffers about things that we do during life. But young people do not understand as well, so they need pictures, and through pictures, through the colors of this yellow and gray, through these dark pictures, they understand the feeling of the story. Also, this book was was translated in English. Also, the explanation of the story and the explanation of the illustrations. And this we also published last year, which was the year of European heritage. But last year was also the year of Ivan Cankar, because there was 100 years from his death. So it is the print of book for celebrating, and there were many events in our country to celebrate Ivan Cankar. Many books reprinted, and we made also cups for coffee, and we produced especially sacks of coffee, and I brought not only books for Timothea, but also a sack of coffee of Ivan Cankar. I think that you can prepare this coffee also for your team that organized that beautiful congress. Thank you very much.